Tonight, I am solely going to focus on number 2. Number 2 is understanding what are your value propositions. And tonight's exercises, I know, are really going to help these little brain cells think about more ideas that maybe you haven't thought. The first thing is, I call this my customer wish box, okay? The first exercise that you are going to do with your pen and your paper, you're going to draw a box, okay? And in this box, we are going to ask ourselves, what are my target customers wanting to do, to get done in their work and their lives? This is going to help you put yourself in the shoes of the people that you are thinking are your customer, are your target audience. So you have to ask yourselves, what are my customer target audience? What are my targeted audience people that are my people? What are they wanting to do? What are they wanting to get done in their life, in their work? Once you start asking this, you are going to draw a square, or you are going to have an A4 piece of paper. Let me get this piece of paper. So imagine you are going to have a piece of paper, which is your box. And in this box is going to be your customer wish list. With Post-its, if you have Post-its, if not, you're gonna write it down. You are going to place a Post-it for every major job or thing you intend to help your customer get done. This is your customer wish list. This is you putting yourself in their shoes, in their lives. What are their hopes? What are their dreams? What do they need help with? What do they need help getting done? Either it's in their jobs, either it's in their work, is it in their lives? I call this the customer wish list. Yellow balloons! Huge shout outs to yellow balloons. Your balloons are still here. I'm gonna show them later. They're still here. They're right behind me. I don't know if you can see. So I call this your customer wish box. You are going to write down or use a Post-it, and I want you to think about. So let's use an example throughout tonight's class. I want to use an example. Okay, you know what? I've got yellow balloons in front of me right now. My eyes have just seen them. I'm going to use yellow balloons as tonight's example. How lucky are you? Are you going to get this? Okay, so yellow balloons now would think, if their business is balloons and they provide balloons, they are going to ask themselves, okay, so what do my target customers want to do? What do they want to get done in their work and their life? Customer wish box, this exercise, I really want to keep the slide up in here because this slide is really important for you, so you can really look at it and then there are their hopes and dreams and desires. Boxes, okay, here we go. This is now called the pain box, okay? Customer box for every pain your customer experiences. I call this, I love it, it's the pain box, because this is going to now put you in the mind frame of what are the pains that your customers are going through when it comes to what you've identified that they want. So identify the problems. So if you read here on my little slides, identify the problems your customers can experience. And this is really important. The problems that they can experience before, during, or after getting the job done. And when I say getting the job done, that's a metaphor, so it fits anything. It can be getting the balloons, it can be with Andre that helps people with confidence, it can be with so many, right? So what are the problems that your customers are experiencing before, during, and after? Any niche, any business, right? You have to think about what are their struggles. What also have they told you? So I want you to go back and think about, were you ever given insights through customer service, through emails, through DMs? Have you been receiving feedback of what they are struggling with? That they would like more sex. That's such a great one. But this is, and this is really, really important for you to think about these, because and you're going to understand why. And I want you, again, like I said before, really think about this. You need to spend at least 2 hours just on this, for example, going back to yellow balloons, something like accessibility and timeliness, it's something that it's a pain for them. It's a pain to identify the theme, to place the order, to pay, maybe that's a pain. Another pain maybe is the creativity aspect. A lot of people are not really that creative, right? So the pain of, what should the theme be? What should the balloon installation be, right? Jacob was saying, like, communication, they don't know how to communicate. So really identifying those pain points from the most small to the biggest, from the smallest micro to the macro of all of those pains. And ideally, this is like a 2-hour exercise or even a 1-hour exercise. So this is the pain box. So look at what we've done, right? We looked at the pain box, and before we looked at the wish box. So see what you're starting to think now, what you are starting to flesh out. So as you start to have this, either you are using A4 papers with lots of Post-its, or you're gonna do this on your wall, you are now starting to identify one side, which is this. You're gonna have your wish box, what your customers want to do, what do they want to get done in their work, in their life, and then what is their pain. So your customer pain box, for every pain your customer experiences in what they are trying to get done, before, during, and after. So now we would have these two fleshed out with a lot of Post-its. The next thing that we are now going to do is this. We are going to flesh out these two boxes. So let's start with this one. Let's start with our customer wish box, right? So now that you've thought about all of those things that your customers want to, you've identified the things that they want to get done. You are now going to create what I call your gain box. So how will you take them there through your services and your product ideas? We call this the gain box. So now that you've identified all the things that they want to get done, all their wishes and their dreams and their hopes, your gain box, which is a flesh out, it's like a sister box, is going to identify how will you then take them there with your products and services. But this is when you think about ideas. Now you think about what would be all of the crazy, innovative, fun ideas that you can take them there, because now you've understood their wishes, right? You've got it all plotted out on Post-it, so you've written it down. Now you have to think of ideas. How will I take them there? How will Yellow Balloons create a really fun, dynamic catalog so that they can see everything brought to life? Is it going to be a video? Is it going to be a cool ebook? Is it going to be... Now you are going to think, how will I provide these solutions? How will I now take people there? How am I going to help them now? Because you identified what they want. So how, through your services and ideas, you would get there, okay? So this is called the gain box. So now they need to gain from their wishes. We have a wish box of all of the things our customer audiences want. Now they need to gain from it. So how is it that through your ideas that you are going to think about, which are going to be your products and your services, how will they then get there? Okay, so if we've done our customer wish box, what was the other box that we did? The other box that we did was our pain box. So what are we going to be doing now? We are now going to be doing, so now we have our pain box. Now we need to think about, what are the pain relievers? So look how easy this is for your thinking process. You've identified what hurts. You've identified your customer audience's pains. What's their struggles? Is it accessibility? Is it breaking down a step by step so they really know how to make that recipe? Do they need to be given the ingredients? Are you going to provide them with the ingredients and the recipe and they do it at home, right? Like, what is it? Now that you've identified where it hurts, you are going to come up with, how am I going to relieve that pain? What is going to be the solution? Do they want fast, speedy customer service? Am I going to have a chat box? Am I going to have a dedicated Twitter handle? Am I going to create a dedicated email just to answer queries, right? You've identified where it hurts. Now you're going to think about, how am I going to relieve their pain? What are those solutions? I call them the pain relievers, right? So now look at where we are. We've looked at our customer wish list of all the things they want to get done. We have fleshed out how we want to get them there through our products and our services ideas. Now, I'm even going to think more about what are going to be their pain relievers, because I know where it hurts. My people need help with creating content, for example, right? For us here, for your brain cells, for you to think. Now you've got your customers' wish lists of everything they want to accomplish and get done. You are going to figure out how to get them there. You're going to come up with all those ideas. You're going to look at their pains that you've identified in your pain box, and then you're going to go, okay, so how can I relieve that pain? Exercise is really breaking down your thought process for you to be in your target audience shoes. I want you to spend a day in the life of one of your perfect target audience. So when you identify all of those pains, and I want you to do 10 of each. I want you to think about 10 pains. I want you to think about 10 wish things. Customer wish box. What are all the wishes, hopes, and dreams that our customers, our target customers, are wanting to do, get done in their lives, in their work? What is it? That was step number 2. Step number 2 is that pain. Where does it hurt? This is the customer pain box. For every pain your customer experiences, I want you to identify. Then we are going to flesh out the customer wish box into a gain box. How are you going? The magic word is how. How are you going to take them there? This is now the ultimate golden nugget of this formula. Once you flesh out each of the boxes, you are now going to have so many ideas for your products and services that on this last segment that I have here, it's a circle. And what you ask yourselves here is, in how many ways can I now create products and services from the pain relievers and the gain box? So now when you are looking at all those things that you've identified that are pain relievers for your customers, and all those gain wishes that you've identified from the gain boxes, guess what you're going to get? You are going to get such a group of ideas. You're going to have a huge list of ideas. You are going to look into the pain reliever box, and you are going to look into the gain box, and you are going to decide which of these ideas become products and services. To be obsessed about detail, like the more detail you are going to think about this, the more ideas you are going to get to this last step. Post-its allow you to do something called design thinking. Design thinking is when you can think creatively, when you write one thing per post-it, and when you put it up on the wall, it's going to allow fluidity into your creative process. So that's why post-its are an amazing tool for planning, for strategizing, for ideathons, because you can move them around as you are thinking about your creative process. They allow you to have tea, coffee, post-its, ideathons. Bye!